Live the truth. Welcome to captivated. Live the truth. Welcome to another.
Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is Jimmy Sam from No Truth Podcast. Hope you're all doing fine. I'm doing great. I got a little bit of a weird one here for you. I don't know if I'm going to cut this up in parts or just do it in one big shebang. But it's 2025, and for some reason I got really interested in the Sky King. I don't know if you guys remember this fella, but he kind of. Well, I'm going to put myself somewhere that matters. No, it don't matter. I want to see him anyway. The guy who kind of stole an airplane and kind of just took off on it and ended up offing himself. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I got fascinated with the story for some reason, and I decided to do a deep dive on it and thought it might make a good video. So we're going to try it out here. Let me see if I can get a different background there. And, but yeah, it's kind of to honor him a little bit and for me to try a different format of infotainment type stuff. But anyway, here we go. I got a bit of a script I'm going to be reading, so if you don't like that thing, I understand and click off. It's no problem. But tonight I want to tell you a story, not a myth, not a movie script, but a true story. One that blends mystery, sorrow, rebellion, and a little bit of awe. It's a story of a man now called the Sky King. His name was Richard Russell. His friends called him Beebo. He's 29 years old. He's a ground service agent for Horizon Air at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. You know, you see the guys with the sticks and everything like that. He was that guy. And to the world, he's a regular guy. He loaded bags, drove tugs, towed planes. He was funny, friendly, loved by his wife, talked about God. Used to run a bakery back in Oregon before he moved up to Washington. And he made YouTube videos about his life. He was just the kind of guy who would make a how-to video about lifting luggage. Nobody saw what was coming. It was a summer evening, August 10th, 2018. God, has that been that long already? That's so crazy. It's weird how things keep popping up in your feed at different times in your life. But Beebo was scheduled to work that night, but something changed. He boarded a Bombardier Dash Q 400. It's a twin-engine regional airliner. Taxied on the runway and took off alone. No co-pilot, no passengers, no flight plan. Just took it. Flight plan. Yeah, say that. Now stop for a second. You're sitting there wondering, how does a guy who isn't a pilot take off in a 76-seat aircraft? Simple. He worked there. He had the access, the trust, the clearance. No one thought twice. But what he did next shocked everyone. People got in the radio air traffic control, and that's when the story becomes almost surreal. He's joking. He's calm. It's very eerie to hear the video. He does not, he is in this from the beginning. We got in radio traffic control, and that's the whole story became almost surreal. He was joking, calm. He sounded like a man who's made peace with himself. Hey, do you think if I land this thing successfully, Alaska will give me a job as a pilot? I've played some video games before. I tell you, this is a crazy story. And then I think I'm going to try a barrel roll. And if that goes good, I'll call it a night. And he does. He barrel rolls this crazy big aircraft. It's 76-footer through a perfect barrel roll over Puget Sound. No training, just instinct, muscle memory, maybe from simulations and playing the simulators, maybe from YouTube. It wasn't reckless. It was graceful. And the air traffic controller, his name, SeaTac Tower 1, was just trying to talk him down gently. We just want to make sure you're safe, man. And Beebo says, nah, I'm not planning on landing it. That's when everything, takes a shift and you're like, holy shit. What's this guy going to do? Is he a terrorist, or, suicidal? Both. You don't know what's going on. But who was he really? The world called him a thief. The internet called him a folk hero. But the truth is harder to pin down. His family said Beebo was a warm, compassionate man. His friends said he loved making people laugh. And he never showed signs of breaking. but something inside him was quietly cracking. In one of his own videos, he said, "I lift a lot of bags, like a lot of bags, so many bags." And then he laughs. Now, in hindsight, the first whisper is something heavier, something weighing on him. We don't know what demons he was facing. We do know that he didn't want to hurt anyone. In fact, that night he dodged cities, avoided populated areas, and when asked if he wanted to land, he says, "No, I don't want to." I was hoping that was going to be it. After 75 minutes in the air, Beebo crashed the plane into Ketron Island, a remote forested area in Washington. No homes, no people, just trees. It was a fireball. He died instantly. No one else was hurt. The FBI investigated. They found no political motive, no terror plot. Just a man for reasons we still don't fully understand to this day needed to escape. SeaTac Airport overhauled its security protocols, of course, blah, blah, blah. They reviewed employee access. They installed new surveillance. Beebo's story required reading in aviation, is now required reading in aviation security. But that wasn't the end of it. Enter the internet. Within hours, message boards lit up. I think we all remember this. I mean, I know I do. I'm on the internet enough, but I do remember this guy. I remember this story. It's weird how so many years later, it just things come back to you. And I don't know. It's an odd one. One comment called him Sky King, and it stuck. Memes, tributes, art. Some made him a martyr. Others made him a symbol of rebellion. A man who broke free just once before he vanished in the trees. But he wasn't a rebel, not in the way people wanted him to be. He wasn't angry or violent or political. He was tired. He was kind. He was done. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like he, still don't know what motivated him or anything like that. It seemed like a regular guy and just enjoying life. And it's kind of poetic. It really is, I think, but he just took himself out. It felt like he was, from my eyes and, 1,000-mile perspective, it looked like he was done, but he was also free in a weird way, just like I can do whatever I want. I'm going to take this. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to hurt anybody, but I'm done. It's chilling and it's terrible. It's illegal and all those things, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, your life is short. You make your own decisions. Not saying take yourself out. Never would. That'd be horrible. I like you to be around. I need people to watch these videos. But I just, I don't know. It's so weird. But the story caught fire. I think it's because his flight was more than just a stunt. It was poetic, tragic, reckless poetry. Here was a man invisible to the world. It's kind of like most of us. No matter how much internet you get, it's kind of, I don't know. It's ain't real, I'm really here talking and everything like that, but it's, I don't know. Anyway, here's a man invisible to the world who climbed to the sky, danced above the water, and rolled an aircraft with no fear and told the world who he really was. Just once. We don't admire what he did, but maybe we understand why. When Richard Russell took off that night, he didn't just hijack a plane. He hijacked our expectations of what despair looks like, of who breaks, of who flies. He was never trained, but for a brief, tragic, breathtaking hour. He was up there for an hour. Never flew a plane before. This plane is not a little Cessna. It's remarkable what he did, actually, being able to fly it. He probably could have landed it too. Not the way he wanted, or not the way we wanted him to, but he did land it. He flew higher than most of us ever will. He was Richard Russell. He was Beebo. And for that one night, he was the Sky King. If that story moved you at all, feel free to follow the channel, whatever like that. We do a live broadcast and it's also a podcast that's on anywhere you can get a podcast called Another Truth. I should probably put the little dinger up there. Where do we got? Go bingo! That thing right there. I always want to do that. But we try to have engaging talks. Usually we talk about bullshit. That's what usually comes up. But every now and then we try to dig deep on something. And I do some Jim Solo podcasts where I try to dig deep on a little bit of different things too, just to keep myself excited about doing this. And I am excited about doing this. I love doing these things. But thanks for listening. If you ever feel like the weight of the life is too much, I want you to know you're not alone. Talk to someone, reach out, stay grounded. And until next time, keep your feet on the ground and your heart in the sky. That was terrible. But anyway, thank you guys again for tuning into Another Truth. I do hope you're all fine. I'm doing great. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Another truth. Welcome to the captivated. Another truth.